Monster Hunter World is the latest title in the long-running Monster Hunter franchise, and is the first mainline title to hit non-Nintendo consoles since Monster Hunter Freedom Unite on the PSP in 2008. This title also marks the first Monster Hunter to release simultaneously in North America, Europe, and Japan, allowing for cross-region play. With an already passionate fan base, and now the PlayStation and Xbox markets available, Monster Hunter World has the opportunity to be a mainstream hit. The narrative of the game is quite simple, though story is obviously not the main component in the Monster Hunter franchise. You play as a hunter of the Fifth Fleet in pursuit of Zora Magdaros, a colossal elder dragon heading to the New World as part of the Elder Crossing. As part of the research commission, discovering more about the New World as well as the Elder Crossing phenomenon is your primary objective. One could consider the New World to be a metaphor for the franchise's journey to mainstream gaming. Like previous Monster Hunters, Monster Hunter World is an action role-playing game with a focus on hunting monsters, but also equipment progression and skill-based combat. There are 14 weapon types, including the long sword and hammer, each of which is uniquely useful as players hunt and capture monsters, and use their parts to craft better gear. Players also receive various quests and assignments that have alternative objectives like gathering mushrooms. As you progress through the story, the monsters get stronger, and thus the progression of equipment is a vital component of the gameplay. Even once you've got that better equipment, player skill and to a greater extent player knowledge is absolutely crucial to besting the game's tougher monsters. As for the actual hunting, players begin at base camp and search for tracks or other clues to track the monsters across 5 regions using your scout flies. The 5 regions are seamlessly connected, no loading screens, and online multiplayer lets you call in friendly assistance mid-quest. The multiplayer portion can be a bit frustrating to set up, but playing with friends is a great experience. When you're playing alone or with one other player, players can opt to bring their Palico, a cat sidekick, along for the quest. Monster Hunter World takes everything the series has done well in the past and arguably does it better. Part of this is due to the improved capabilities of the hardware it now runs on, but also quality of life changes that make the game much more accessible to new players. Improvements and new features such as the aforementioned scout flies, mantles, the slinger, and interactive wildlife only help improve the experience. Even taking all those creature comforts into account, the different mechanics at play and overcrowded inventory system make Monster Hunter World seem overwhelming at first. Thankfully, time and experience will help alleviate this feeling for players. The core of the game just feels good. The movement and combat are smooth and precise, but will punish your arrogance and greedy play with a quick death. Most of all, it's satisfying to see a solid plan come together and take out a particularly nasty monster, both on your own and in a group. Freed from the confines of the 3DS, the series has never looked better than in Monster Hunter World. The game is vibrant and runs well, even more so on the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. With a variety of settings, colors, and visual cues, Monster Hunter World is truly a sight to behold. The vistas are striking, the characters uniquely styled, and obviously the monsters are top-notch. Much like the inventory and new features, the user interface of Monster Hunter World is quite crowded, with a lot of information provided a lot of the time. While Capcom has done an excellent job in improving accessibility for Monster Hunter World, the game may still be tough to get into for new players with so many mechanics and so many features being presented at once. For fans of the series and those dedicated to learning the game, Monster Hunter World is an experience that can last players for a long, long time. Strong gameplay, a decent narrative, and fantastic aesthetic, Monster Hunter World is one of the best entries in a series that is now accessible to many more players.